Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills heading into the 2024 season as they just released their first official depth chart. We're going to talk about that. We're going to run through their schedule, their over-under by Vegas, what I think their record's going to be, and then talk a little bit about their coaching staff and just the year as a whole. So the Bills just released their depth chart a couple hours ago at the time of this recording, and there's a couple, I don't know if I would say surprises, but maybe a couple of things that were surprising to me. Wide receiver 1 at X is Matt Collins. Second string would be Keon Coleman, the rookie out of Michigan State. Third, Terrell Shavers, and fourth, Chase Claypool. Obviously, Deion Dawkins left tackle, David Edwards left guard, Connor McGovern center, Osiris Torrance right guard, and Spencer Brown right tackle. Josh Allen, James Cook, quarterback, running back. I think the Bills tight end room is a little bit underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about it, but I like Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. I think that's a really solid duo. Kincaid was obviously just a beast at Utah, and I watch a lot of college football, and he was someone I was really high on coming out of college. Khalil Shakir, slot receiver, and then Curtis Samuel. Shakir's backup is listed as KJ Hamler, then Andy Isabella, the speedster from Massachusetts. MVS is slotted behind Curtis Samuel. Defensively, honestly, one of the better defensive lines in the league, in my opinion. AJ Epinesa, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, and Greg Rousseau. I like that starting four a lot. I think it's one of the better units in the league. Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard at linebacker, backing them up. Dorian Williams and Nicholas Morrow. Cornerbacks, Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford. Safeties, Taylor Rapp, DeMar Hamlin, backing them up, Cam Lewis, Cole Bishop. And at nickel, Teron Johnson, backing him up, Daquan Hardy. So overall, on paper, pretty good team. I know that obviously Poyer and Hyde are no longer there. A duo that was there at safety from 2017 to 2023. A lot of leadership, a lot of snaps. I know that Poyer went to the Dolphins. Micah Hyde's still a free agent. I don't know what he's going to do, if he's just going to retire or whatnot. But on paper, it's a pretty damn good team. Now, the Bills went 11-6 last year. Their win total from most sports books is set at 10.5. And running through their schedule, you start off with the Cardinals at home. You go to the Dolphins, home against the Jags, at the Ravens, at the Texans, at the Jets, 3 road games in a row. Versus the Titans, at the Seahawks, versus the Dolphins, at the Colts, versus the Chiefs. Bye. Brutal stretch here versus the 49ers, at the Rams, at the Lions. And then you get to end the year with some easier games. Versus the Pats at home, versus the Jets, and then at the Patriots. So, like I said, the over-under win total is set at 10.5 for Buffalo. Personally, I think that's not an easy over hit, but I can confidently say, in my opinion, as someone that is completely neutral on Buffalo, I think they'll hit the over on that. I could see them winning 12, even 13 games. I mean, versus the Cardinals should be a win. At the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins are a really solid team, but I do think Buffalo should win that game, 2-0. I think they should beat the Jags 3-0. At the Ravens and Texans, those are tough games. But, I mean, even if they were to drop both of those and go 3-2, then they have at the Jets, who I'm not that high on. I know a lot of people are pretty high on them with, Aaron Rodgers is coming back and this and that and the other. I don't think the Jets are going to make the playoffs. I see them as an 8-9 type of team. I would have the Bills beating them 4-2, versus the Titans 5-2, at the Seahawks 6-2, versus the Dolphins. Another tough game, but I think they can pull that out. At the Colts, win 8-2, versus the Chiefs. The kryptonite that Buffalo's had these last 4 years, 3 of their 4 playoff losses coming against Kansas City. Just because I have them at 8-2 right now, I'm gonna have to chalk that down as a loss. 8-3, bye week versus the Niners, and I know they have a bye week before that, but I could see that as another loss, 8-4, just because I gave them so many wins earlier. At the Rams and Lions, I think If they do lose that Niners game, they will be pretty pissed off. I could see them going in and winning both those games versus the Pats, versus the Jets, and add the Pats. I could see them winning all of those. So honestly, like, I have the Bills probably going 13-4, 12-5. And right now, I would have, the Chiefs as the 1 seed in the AFC. We're going to have to see how the AFC North shakes out. I think the Ravens will end up winning that and sneak in at the 2 seed. I have the Ravens going 13-4. But I could see the Bills getting that 3 seed, facing off against the Ravens eventually in the semifinal for the AFC. And that would be a very, very interesting game. Sean McDermott, 8th year as the head coach there, defensive-minded guy. We're hearing some people say, oh my God, if it happens again this year, as in like they lose the playoffs and they're not able to get to the AFC Championship, he's fired, he's canned. I think that's a little overdramatic. Now, I understand the frustrations in Buffalo because it's like, how many times are we going to be so close and not be able to finish it off? I get that. But he's also had a shit ton of success. So I think that talk needs to calm down a little bit. Their DC heads into his first year as the defensive coordinator, 7 years with the Bills, I believe. And then Joe Brady, OC, 3rd year with the Bills, 1st year as the OC. So 2 first-year coordinators for the Bills. Like I said, 8th year for Sean McDermott. Great roster on paper. The AFC is just brutal. Again, Chiefs, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Chargers with Jim Harbaugh now. Dolphins are going to be solid. I want to say that it could be the year that the Bills break through, but obviously we're going to have to watch the regular season and see how it pans out. I think Josh Allen's pretty sick and tired of having the same thing happen over and over again, and I could really see him showing up in a playoff game big time, against the Ravens, against the Chiefs. I think James Cook is going to have a really good year. Like I said, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, I feel like those are 2 very slept-on players, even though I know Kincaid's been getting a lot of love from the media, but still, I think they're pretty slept on. I love the Keon Coleman draft pick. Great player at Michigan State, great player at Florida State. Curtis Samuel, very underrated guy, very fast, very quick. MVS, obviously, veteran. Deion Dawkins, one of the best tackles, or I guess just one of the best linemen in the entire league. Really like this defensive front. Ed Oliver, AJ Epinesa. I know you have a veteran, Von Miller. Daquan Jones, underrated. Like, the D-line is really, really good. I know a lot of people have been talking about, oh my God, they lost Poyer and Hyde. What's the secondary going to look like? It's going to be okay. I mean, Taylor Rapp is a really solid player. DeMar Hamlin, Cole Bishop. I like Cole Bishop a lot, the kid from Utah. I think he's going to be a sneaky good player for the Bills. Khair Elam, I hope I'm saying that right. I know he's from Florida. Kid that, if he plays up to the level he can, could be a good player for the Bills. So overall, I would say, probably a 12-5 year for Buffalo. Again, I would take that over at 10.5. I think that's a little bit low, but I can understand. I mean, you get the Dolphins twice, the Ravens on the road, the Texans on the road. At Seattle, I mean, going all the way across the country there. The Chiefs, the Niners, the Rams, the Lions. But you get the Patriots twice. I think they'll sweep them. You get the Jets twice. I think the Bills will sweep them. Colts, Titans, Jaguars, Cardinals. I mean, there's a lot of built-in wins here. I mean, obviously, no game's a guarantee, but a lot of these games I'd give the Bills like a 3/4 odds of winning. So they get red hot heading into the playoffs. It could be really interesting. Again, I think they'll end up playing the Ravens to go to that AFC Championship against the Chiefs, which will be a hell of a game if that does end up happening. But yeah, I'm pretty high on the Bills this year. I think they'll have a really good season, really good on paper. Excited to watch them play this year.